you have watched the video and then performed the steps of changing your password and updating your profile, you now are ready to book a trip. So you already logged in, and this is the screen you will see when you first log in. And to be able to book a trip, you will click on the Travel tab here. It will be defaulted with company notes if you have any. And then you see this screen. So you have the option to book a flight, a car, a hotel, or check flight status if you've already booked a flight. So we'll start with a flight. You've got three options. You can do round trip, a one ticket, or a multi-city ticket. Multi-city is if, let's say, instead of just going from Columbus to LA, you want to go Columbus, Dallas, Colorado, then LA. So if you wanted to do multiple cities before end destination, you would do city. It's a lot better than just booking 4 one-way tickets. You can book them all in here. But for this demo, we'll just do a round trip. And it's simple. You have departure city. If you know the city, you can put that. If you know the airport code, you can also enter that in as well. So we'll do Columbus. Same thing for the arrival city. So we'll do LaGuardia. We'll pick your date by clicking on the little calendar button here. You can decide if you want to depart at a certain time or if you want to arrive in LaGuardia at a certain time. So that's a total preference, and then you can decide whether you want to leave morning, afternoon, or evening. And then here you've got plus or minus 3 hours. So this will give you a 6-hour range that you can choose from, and you can make it as little as a 2-hour range or as big as a, plus or minus 23 hours. You'll do the departing. Here, if you click on this button, Concur will then automatically know you are looking for a rental car. And same goes for find a hotel. It will then trigger Concur to know that you need to look for hotels as well. I'm only going to pick one because I'll go in at the end and show you how to add one of these to your reservation. So we'll just off with the hotel. To search by airport, a certain address, maybe company location, or a reference point. We'll just search by airport, and we'll go within 5 miles from the airport that we're landing in. If you like, you can search for certain hotels with a name, whether it's Hilton, maybe Hyatt, Marriott, things like that. And then down here, you can search by price or by schedule. And then you search. Go through your profile and look any preferences or frequent flyer programs you have and develop options based on that. That's the benefit of Concur. One benefit. So we're kind of gathering the schedules and the prices. So up here in this matrix, you've got 4 options in terms of airlines. And if you have preferred airlines, they will show up on the farthest left, and there will be a notation saying it is preferred. Or kind of one of the benefits and the big benefit of Concur is Southwest. So if you've ever booked, maybe Travelocity or Kayak or things like that, if you want to pick a Southwest flight, either A, they don't show up at all, or B, if you click on it, it redirects you to Southwest's website and you have to kind of research your itinerary. Well, with Concur, you can select a Southwest flight and get redirected anywhere, and you see all your options. And you can book directly in this Concur program. That's a big benefit. But for this, we're going to pick a non-stop flight. So you can again narrow down by 1 stop, 2 stops, non-stop, or by airline. But we'll go by non-stop. And down, you see that we've only got 5 out of 30 results, which is all of them. So, you can search by a flight number if you already know one that somebody else is flying on, or if you sort by times that you're leaving or arriving, or how long the flights are. You can search that as well. So we'll by again, these are all non-stop flights, so most of them will be the same duration, but maybe it doesn't leave super early in the morning, but it's a good time to wake up. So we'll search this one, and by doing that, or to select this one, you click the blue box here. You're picking your return flight, same options to search by things. Let's say you want to depart a little earlier to get home. So you do one of these, and it sorts them, and so you'll select it by again clicking that blue box there. Right, I'm going to price them and select them for you. See here, you've picked a flight that is $388.40. it will now show you that there are a few options that are cheaper. Now, maybe they're not nonstop, maybe they do have a connecting flight, but they do show you that it is cheaper to pick this flight. You can change it if you like, but for the sake of this demo, we are going to go ahead with what we selected and just click on this blue box with the price, and that will then select that flight. So the next page you'll see is kind of just going through all the details that you have, reviewing your flight details, telling you when you leave, when you come home. Then next it has all your information that you've already preloaded in your profile. If you forgot to enter in a frequent flyer program for Delta, or if you recently had just got one after you set up your profile, you can add it here by clicking on the Add a Program. Seat assignment, it'll your flight cost, and you've got your method of payment. If you have multiple ones, they'll show up on the drop-down box. If you only want your company or your travelers to have one, we can gray out the option to add or edit this, and then they'll only have one option. And then they'll select that, and it has this kind of caution box talking about what a non-refundable ticket means, and then hit this reserve flight and continue. These flights for you go through that process on the back end. Takes a and with the flights, it's then going to start bringing up your hotel resort results because you selected that you wanted to find a hotel near the airport. You have a couple ways to select your hotels here. You can look on a map if you kind of know the area and you know where you want to stay. You can go the route, or you can sort down here. So a couple ways to sort. Again, you can search by name if you want to search by a certain name, or if you want to go by distance or rating or pricing, you can do that too. So we'll just pick this this Hampton, New York. And you have certain policies that don't allow for hotels less than 3 stars or above, 4. Those we can gray those out and not allow those to be an option. Or there's plenty of custom and adherence to travel policies that we can implement here. But so we'll just select one of these. And again, if you have a preferred bed, they will, or size bed, they will show up at the top. And so we'll put one of these here. By blue price. This is virtually the same page as the flights, but instead it will have your hotel information, checking in, checking out, any hotel preferences that you didn't put before, you can add them in. Same information, hotel program again, and then it talks about the price due now. Obviously it's going to be $0 now. It's to just hold the room and then you will pay upon checkout. Again, and then right here, it's good to check kind of the hotel cancellation policy in case you do have to cancel, to note those. One of those, the rules and regulations, you'll click reserve. It's going to tell for you. And start bringing up your itinerary for the entire trip. Bunch of details. It'll have your start date, your end date, a trip name. You can edit that if you like, if you want to name it a certain something. Internet Wi-Fi if you like on the flight, and then it brings up your flight information. Your flight, your hotel once you arrive in LaGuardia, and then your return flight information from LaGuardia back to your starting destination. Keep scrolling, you see your costs, and then right here you notice here it says, it's just a quote, these tickets are not yet issued. So if you have an approval process, or if you have, things that have to happen before you book, before there's tickets made, that will not be ticketed until that approval process or those requirements have been met. Once they have been met, it will then be ticketed and sent on to you with an invoice. So I'm telling you, these airfares are not guaranteed until the ticket has been issued. You'll click if everything looks good. Name again here. The description you'd like to put in here. Any comments for the travel agent is here. And then if you want to send a copy of your confirmation to somebody else, you can enter that email here. And then if it looks good, you'll click next. Final page before confirmation. So again, you're seeing the same page you've seen before. It's just confirming everything. everything. Again, after the third or fourth time seems good, you will click purchase. See this page, it says finished, you are good. Right now it has been reserved and everything has been booked, but not necessarily ticketed. So again, like I said, once everything's been done and requirements have been met on that end, you will then get an email from us that looks like this, with this saying that everything has been ticketed and look like this. The sample email. So once that, things have been ticketed and you're good, everything is confirmed. Option once you've been, everything's finished, to print your itinerary, to email it to somebody, or you can return and it will be finalized. So as I alluded to before, in order to add something to your reservation, let's say you got your hotel and your flight, but you forgot that you might need a car for the day. Instead of going back and clicking here and going through a car search and starting over, you go and click on the link of your trip. So ours was Columbus to New York. So we'll click this link here, pull up our itinerary that we already finalized and booked. And if you're on the right, you have the option to add things to your itinerary. Maybe you want to add another hotel for an extra night, or maybe you want to add a car. So you'll here, instead of starting over and doing it again, you want to add your New York reservation and your options to do your rental car and to add a car on. So once you've done all that, you'll hit next. It's going to search cars that are applicable. And the preferred companies and rental companies, they'll show up on the top with a preferred notation. And then you'll be able to click one of these rates. You'll click them, you'll click down here, you'll click on that blue box, and then that'll be how you'll proceed with the same exact steps as you did before in order to get a car. Once you've done that, it'll go through that same process. You'll get another email saying that has now changed. And then in addition to your reservation, instead of having to start over and pay another service fee because it will recognize it as a new reservation, you can just go in and edit an existing one. And so last thing that's really cool is if just where we were before, you click on this link. Let's say you have another person that has decided to want to come with you, and you want to have the exact same itinerary and trip for them as you had for yourself. You can click this clone trip option, and it will basically make a copy of your exact itinerary you just had, and you can add their names in and make an itinerary with their guest information. I click guest traveler, and we'll confirm all these things, hit next, and it will then make the trip in their name as well. Cool option to not have to go back and restart and do the exact same thing over and maybe run the risk of it not being available or things like that. You can just click right here in that itinerary and clone it and copy it for another person. Basically it, in a nutshell, the very basic booking on Concur. First video on making your profile, changing your password, and that kind of leads into then being able to book travel with this second video. Again, if you have any questions on either of the videos, feel free to reach out to us here at Uniglobe. We'll be able to direct you to the right person to be able to answer those questions. But these are the very basics and the bones kind of ways to be able to operate Concur. And with these videos, you'll be able to do all you need to do. There's not anything outside these videos that makes it necessarily any different on booking. You'll be able to book with full capacity these two videos and following these steps. So like I said, any questions, feel free to contact us, but this is all you need.